Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to a space where we celebrate the art of connection, not just the physical, but the profound emotional tapestry that weaves two hearts together. Today, we're diving into something exquisite, the 69 position, reimagined through the lens of an older woman and a younger man. It's a story of timeless desire, where experience meets youthful fire, lust intertwines with romance, and every shared breath builds toward waves of mutual ecstasy. This isn't about fleeting moments, it's about honoring the dance of equals. In a world that often boxes us into roles, this position reminds us that pleasure is a symphony, equal parts giving and receiving, vulnerability and strength. Picture a woman whose life has taught her the depths of passion, guiding a man whose energy ignites her anew. Together, they create a loop of bliss where romance blooms in the quiet spaces between touches, and orgasm isn't an endpoint, but a shared horizon. We'll journey through their story, layer by layer, exploring how this position fosters Shawat, the raw, magnetic pull of desire, while cradling it in romance's gentle arms. And yes, we'll touch on the crescendo of full, connected intimacy, always with consent as our guiding star. Remember, every body is a universe. What follows is inspiration, not instruction. Let's begin. Her name was Alina, 48, with laugh lines that mapped adventures untold and eyes like aged whiskey, deep and inviting. She'd walked through boardrooms and heartbreaks, emerging with a quiet power that turned heads not for its youth, but for its unapologetic depth. He was Alex, 29, a sculptor whose hands were caroused from clay and dreams, his spirit a wildfire that burned bright, but sought the rain of wisdom to temper it. They met at an art gallery, her fingers brushing his as they both reached for the same canvas, a swirling vortex of blues and golds, evoking the chaos of first sight. That night, over candlelit pasta in her loft apartment overlooking the city lights, the air hummed with possibility. Elena poured the wine, her movements deliberate, savoring the pour as if it were a ritual. Alex watched, mesmerized by the grace in her wrists, the way her silver necklace caught the light like a secret promise. "Tell me," she said, her voice a velvet caress, "what sculpts your fire?" He leaned in, his knee grazing hers under the table, and spoke of raw edges and unfinished forms. She smiled, not with pity for his youth, but with recognition, the same hunger she'd tamed in her own youth. As the evening deepened, the conversation flowed like the wine from dreams deferred to desires unspoken. Lust stirred subtly at first. A lingering glance at the curve of her neck, the way his shirt clung to his shoulders after a laugh. But romance wove through it all, in the way she traced the vein on his hand with her fingertip, mapping it like a constellation. "Age is just the frame," she murmured. "The canvas is what we paint together." He nodded, his pulse quickening, feeling seen, not as a boy, but as a man worthy of her world. They moved to the bedroom, the door clicking shut like the seal on a sacred vow. The air was thick with the scent of jasmine from her diffuser, mingling with the earthy musk of anticipation. Elena led, but not with dominance, with invitation. She turned to him, her hands framing his face, thumbs brushing his jawline. "This is ours," she whispered, "equal ground, equal stars." Consent was their foreword, written in the pause where eyes asked and hearts affirmed. He nodded, his breath catching, and pulled her close, their foreheads touching in a moment of pure, electric stillness. The kiss began soft, a brush of lips like dawn's first light, romance in its purest form. Her experience guided the rhythm, slow and exploratory, teaching him the art of savoring. His youth brought fervor, a gentle urgency that made her heart race like it hadn't in years. Tongues met tentatively, then with growing confidence, tasting wine and want. Hands roamed, his fingers threading through her hair, releasing pins that cascaded like a silver waterfall. Hers sliding under his shirt, palms flat against the warmth of his chest, feeling the steady drum of his heart, echoing her own. Lust ignited then, a slow burning ember flaring to life. Elena's breath hitched as Alex's lips trailed to her collarbone, nipping softly, sending shivers that pooled low in her belly. She arched into him, her body remembering the language of desire, fluent and fearless. He groaned softly against her skin, the sound vibrating through her like a promise. Your fire? He murmured, and she laughed. A low, throaty sound that made his blood sing. Romance held the reins, turning raw want into something sacred whispers of beautiful and yes, punctuating the rising tide. They undressed each other with reverence, clothes pooling like fallen leaves. No rush. Each button undone was a revelation, each zipper a shared breath. Naked now, vulnerable and empowered, they stood bathed in moonlight filtering through the curtains. Elena's curves were a landscape of lived stories, soft hips that swayed with confidence, breasts full and inviting. Alex's form was lean and taut, muscles honed by creation, his arousal evident but not aggressive, a testament to his respect. They sank onto the bed, sheets cool against heated skin, bodies aligning like puzzle pieces long separated. And here, in this sacred space, they turned to the 69, a position that mirrors the infinity of their connection, a loop where giving becomes receiving and pleasure circles endlessly. Alina lay back first, her head on the pillow, inviting him with a smile that spoke volumes. Like this, she guided softly, her voice steady, drawing him down with hands on his hips. He positioned himself above her, inverted, their bodies forming a graceful arc, his face hovering near her most intimate warmth. Hers aligned with his hardening length. It was a dance of trussed legs, parting gently, torsos curving to accommodate, until they fit like yin and yang, breath mingling in the space between. The first touch was electric. Romance in the hesitation, lust in the follow-through. Alex's lips brushed her inner thigh, feather light tracing a path that made her gasp. Elena's fingers wrapped around him, stroking with the expertise of years, slow and deliberate, eliciting a deep moan that vibrated against her core. She arched slightly, not in demand, but in delight, her free hand caressing his back, nails grazing just enough to spark. Breathe with me, she whispered, and he did, their rhythm sensing like ocean waves. Shawat, the intoxicating pull, built layer by layer. His tongue explored her folds with youthful curiosity tempered by her soft directions. Yes, slower, like savoring wine. Each lap sent ripples through her hips lifting instinctively, pressing closer to his mouth. She reciprocated, her lips enveloping him in warmth, tummo swirling in patterns that drew guttural sounds from deep within him. The position's genius revealed itself. Every sensation given was felt in return, a feedback loop of bliss. Her pleasure heightened his responses fueling her fire, clitoris swelling under his attentive mouth, his shaft throbbing against her skilled caress. Romance wove through the intensity, eyes occasionally meeting in the mirror across the room, reflections of their entwined forms, a poetic sight. Whispers floated, you feel like home. He breathed against her, the words lost in a kiss to her sensitivity. She hummed approval around him, the vibration a secret language of affirmation. Hands roamed freely, hers cupping his base, guiding the depth, his fingers parting her gently, circling with precision, sweat beaded on their skin, bodies glistening like sculptures under gallery lights, the air thick with their mingled scents, her floral essence, his clean earthiness. As minutes stretched into eternity, the build toward orgasm gathered like a storm on the horizon. Lust crested in waves, her breaths coming shorter, thighs trembling around his shoulders, his hips bucking subtly, seeking more of her enveloping heat. But romance anchored them, pauses for kisses on thighs and hips, laughter when a tickle broke the tension, eyes locking to reaffirm, this is us. Elena's experience shone, she controlled the pace, slowing when the edge neared too soon, drawing out the exquisite torture. Alex learned in real time, his intuition sharpening with every moan she gifted him. The full arc of intimacy unfolded, from oral devotion to the seamless shift into penetration, the 69 evolving into a bridge to deeper union. With a shared nod, they disentangled gracefully, bodies slick and yearning. Elena rolled atop him, guiding his readiness to her welcoming center, a slow, deliberate slide that elicited synchronized sighs. Now face to face, the position's spirit lingered mutual, reciprocal, eyes never breaking contact. He thrust upward with restrained power, her hips circling in response, grinding to chase that elusive spark. Lust roared, skin slapping softly, breaths ragged, but romance sang louder. I see you, she gasped, fingers interlaced, forever in this. He replied, lips claiming hers. Orgasm approached like thunder, building in their cores. Her walls clenched around him, clitoris grinding against his base with each roll. His hands gripped her hips, not to control, but to anchor, feeling her pulse through his length. The world narrowed to sensation, the wet heat of their joining, the electric friction, the symphony of moans blending into one voice. She came first, a cascade of stars behind her eyes, body shuddering in release, cries muffled against his neck. The sight, the feel tipped him over, waves crashing through him, spilling deep as he arched, her name a prayer on his lips. They wrote it together, aftershocks rippling in tandem, until stillness settled like a warm blanket. In the afterglow, they lay tangled, hearts sensing in the quiet. Elena traced patterns on his chest, romance's embers glowing. You've sculpted something eternal tonight, she said, voice husky with satisfaction. He kissed her forehead, youth's fire banked but not extinguished. And you've taught me the art of infinity. The 69 wasn't just a position, it was their manifesto, a celebration of ages bridging, desires harmonizing, pleasures multiplying. And so in Alina and Alex's story, we see the 69 not as a mere act, but as a portal to profound connection. For the older woman and younger man, it's a beautiful reversal, her wisdom guiding the flame, his vitality stoking the hearth. Lust draws them close, romance holds them there, and orgasm? It's the shared sunrise after a night of stars. Whether you're exploring this with a partner, across generations, or simply within your own dynamic, let it be about equity, giving as you receive, loving as you lust. Thank you for joining this intimate tale. If it stirred something in you, like and subscribe for more stories of the heart's deepest rhythms. Until next time, embrace your desires with grace.